Is that your office, Bubba?
This is my office. Yes, sir.
Man, not too bad. This isn't my office is a disaster. I wish my office looked like that. Hello, folks. I'm Bob Kitchen, one of the owners here at Maple Hill Golf, and you're listening to the official podcast of Maple Hill, the Hill Unscripted. Every 2 weeks, I'll bring you the real talk from inside the golf world, insights, stories, and conversations that matter to you as a golfer and a valued part of the Maple Hill family. Joining me today on the Hill Unscripted is my buddy. We do a lot of business with Mr. Sam Bettinardi and Bettinardi Golf. Sam, glad to have you, my man.
Bob, appreciate you having me on. Great
Yeah,
to
we
great to be
had
on,
yeah,
on
it's
the
been
podcast.
thank you very much. I'm glad you made the time. And we had dad a month ago, and then these two, my social media gurus, they were like, what about if we get Sam on? I was like, perfect. Sam's a buddy. We've slapped it around a little bit, dodged some rain and played some golf. And yeah, we just hit it off when we first met. So I'm glad to have you, my man. Really am.
Thank you. Well, now you get
Um,
the vibe of both father and son. We have different ideas and obviously one goal together, but nice to, I guess, have both perspectives for the audience.
Yeah, exactly. Your dad's a little more old school, and of course, younger people have a little different feel and vibe to it. And we'll get into mom a little bit too. Ann Bettinardi is a much bigger role. We were talking about that before you actually called or got on the Zoom. But your mother, what a sweetheart first and foremost. But she has a bigger role in Bettinardi Golf than what I thought. And we'll get into that in a little bit because
Sure.
that was kind of eye opening, and it's really nice. And behind every great man is usually a great female too, right? And you're guilty of
That's
that
right.
too, right?
Right.
You got three munchkins now. Is that what it is?
I got three. One just turned 8, one's turning 6 next week, and then a 1.5-year-old.
Correct. That's so how's
Leo, Lucy, and Dominic. So boy, girl, boy. So we're blessed.
awesome,
We're doing good. And
awesome.
yeah, it's fun being a father and running a business and all that other stuff. So
And you have one sister, right? Is that what you have?
two sisters, one's
Oh, so
34 and one's 27. Yes.
they got kids too, or no?
My middle sister, Gia, who works for our machining company, she has two kids, two boys, two under two. So she's got her hands full.
Oh boy, yeah,
And my
that'll
youngest sister, Bridget, works for Bettinardi Golf as well. She has
nice.
a boyfriend, maybe waiting for that date.
Gotcha.
She's going to get engaged, but yes,
So your parents
family
have
affair.
five grandkids.
Yes, they do.
Oh,
Correct.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love that. That's great. So getting into the actual company a little bit. So the first question is or comment is you grew up around Bettinardi Golf, and what point did you realize it wasn't just your dad's company and you wanted to be involved or heavily involved?
Yeah, I think I've always wanted to be involved. To answer the first part of your question, when did I feel like it was more my company? I mean, I started here in January 2013. And leading up to that, I was going to work for somewhere else for 2 to 4 years, get some outside experience, and come back to Bettinardi. And we had the opportunity to sign Matt Kuchar. And at the time, Matt Kuchar was really hot. He's obviously
Yeah,
nine-time PGA Tour winner. He won the Money title in 2010.
right.
And he approached my father and said, if you can make me a putter, I can rest on my forearm. And I will use your
The arm
putter,
lock. Yeah,
which
yeah.
ended up being the creation. We created the arm lock putter, the arm lock technology in conjunction with Matt. So I remember when I graduated, my dad said, and my mom pushed him, hey, why don't you hire Sammy now? Instead of having him work somewhere else, you really need someone to help sell and market this. You have a great chance to get Cooch, who's top 20 in the world. And I joined the company. I remember going to the PGA show that January 2013. And then 2 weeks later, started working here and just learning
Right.
so much. I've been around the business my whole life. When it was founded, I was 9 years old. The logos, the Mizuno, the Hogan years, all that fun stuff. So I think more 2016, 2017, probably 3 or 4 years in, it really felt like my baby. It had been, made an impact with sales and branding and marketing. So it took a few years to get off the ground, and now it's all the blood, sweat, and tears, and it's what I live and breathe every day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You've poured your heart and soul into it, and I'm glad you got your sisters there working too, because you've created quite an animal, and you guys have grown. And even since I don't know what I've known you for probably I don't know maybe 15 years or at least 10. You've had now we have this warehouse and now we have that warehouse, Bob, and we got to go down the street to this studio and that studio, and you've changed your putter fitting studio, and your hive is used to be a closet, and now it's a really beautiful at Studio B. Like I mean that absolutely. When I just walked in there and I was like, look at these lights and the green couch and the head cover wall, like it has that wow effect that you guys are probably going for. It is first class.
Yeah, it's come a long way, and I think that's what I've been able to add is where my father's been a manufacturing guy, right? He
Right.
grew up around machining. He grew up
Right.
around let's make widget A and ship widget B,
Mhm.
where it's been more, I've had the time and energy to pour into let's make this a brand, right? Let's do some great storytelling and tell the world of there's this amazing machinist that has these incredible engineers and craftsmen in Chicago that make parts for the military, the tightest tolerances, and also happen to make putters that win major championships. So
Yeah,
really been
exactly.
focused on the brand, the marketing, the storytelling, the quality, and all that's transcribed. And I think, like what you said when you started with us, you didn't even want to sell Bettinardi putters in 2013. You were a tough cookie to crack. And now I'd say the top 3 or 4 putter brands that you sell at Maple Hill, which is
Correct.
great.
Correct. Yeah.
So again, kind of going back to our relationship there and going from when I started, I think we had 15 employees. Now we have 95 employees. We have
Yeah.
100,000 square feet of warehouse. We have a
Yeah.
studio that's a standalone entity in Oak Brook, Illinois. So yeah, it's been fun to watch the journey. There's obviously a lot of ups and downs in business,
Of
but
course. Of
really
course.
enjoyed
Yeah.
being here and being a part of the ride.
Love it. Love it. And yeah, yeah, just and you're right. You're right. I was wrong. Which I
Thank you for
actually
admitting
love
it.
saying that. But yeah, and I'm glad I was wrong because I got to meet you and your fine company and establishment, and that was wonderful. But the whole thing was like, I've always been like, we're good with the brands we have. Like we have enough brands. We don't need any more brands. And then we started kind of like seeing what you guys were doing, and back with the BBs and the studio stocks. And then here comes this thing called the Queen Bee, and we'll get into that in a minute too as we progress through this show today. But and your dad's story, if anybody didn't catch the Bob Bettinardi podcast that I did, make sure you watch that. Your dad's story is nothing short of astounding, and I would call it the American dream. I really would. He already had a pretty good leg up from your grandpa's business, I guess, with already having a machine thing and all that. But your dad kind of made the leap, and as they say, leap and the net will appear.
Yeah, I think I get asked that story every time I'm playing golf with new people and of course in business. So I know it by heart, but I think what's
Right.
really unique about that is it is the great entrepreneurial story, right? He walked into
Yes.
the golf shop in 91. He owned one CNC milling machine, saw an ad for a Callaway Bobby Jones Billet Series putter on the wall,
Right.
asked the
Right.
owner of the store who makes, why are they using this outdated technology? The store owner says, I don't know, give him a call, and became the go-to OEM for milled putters in the 90s, created the first one-piece milled putter
Right. Right.
golf,
Right.
right? Everything was cast or forged or welded. So he was the guy that made milled putters where they
Right.
are today. And then
Right.
breaking off on our own in 98 and having won again 6 major championships, over 100
Yeah.
professional wins. Um,
Right.
and again, just starting with, hey, go call Callaway and see what they want. So if he didn't do
Right.
that and it was more like, I don't know about that, I wouldn't be here talking to you today.
Exactly right. Like he literally was like looked at something and it just triggered something in his head, and then he actually followed through on it and really did it. And that's just an amazing story. And I as he was sitting here, my jaw's on the floor, and I don't get amazed by too much anymore. Sam, I'm too old. I'm 47, and I've been doing this forever, and I've heard a lot of stories in my
Yeah.
life. But your dad's story, and since I've known you and how dedicated you are to your craft, and how you guys, when you did like even the Monopoly stuff or like the bag tags, and like how it has to be just so, and like everything has to be really really fine tuned, and just the head covers that you guys do, like my staff is just absolutely all over that stuff. They love it when this random drops come out, when you guys release this and release that from the hive and all that. You've really created something that is unique and fun, and there's a lot to be proud of there. So
Thank you. And I just want to add to that, to your point of everything having to be just so. This morning I spent an hour walking around our buildings and looking at the quality because that's very important to me. So we're getting ready to make a new Antidote style putter that should be coming out later this year. And the machining is very hard to machine this neck. And there's a little ridge on it. So I said, we can't make that. We got to figure it out, whether it's polishing or whether it's machining, you got to send it back. Same thing with some putting cups we got in. It was anodized a slightly different shade of green than what we're used to. It's like, can't do it. Send it back. We're Bettinardi. Everything's quality. And I stress that to our customers and all of our staff members here. As long as we have quality, we'll be in business forever. So quality, quality, quality is so important to me. And I
exactly.
hope everybody that works here and all of our
He's
around the globe, they feel that.
Yeah, I've seen some of the things, and your dad even got rejected a bunch of times before he got up and running. So he knows what it's like. He's been on the other
Okay.
end,
Yep.
with like, nope, it's not good enough. Change it. Nope, not good enough. Change it. And he said it. He learned a lot from that. So the next question on here is, what were some of the biggest lessons you learned from Bob before stepping into your role as the president?
Yeah, I think funny story. When I started out of college, he had me in his office for about a year and a half. So my desk was 10 feet away from him, and he always jokes, "Hey, you got your you didn't need your MBA, you got your MBA for me." So just hearing how he dealt with people, I think one of the biggest lessons was the speediness of making decisions, right? Not the paralysis by analysis, but
Correct.
being able to get a problem and solve the problem quickly. I've learned a lot from him. He's an amazing guy in terms of following up with people. He'll reply to your emails in 2 minutes, 10 minutes. He's not the one to say, I'll get it later. He's on it. So I think that has been vital in being the role I am with our team and distribution around the globe and customers and a global brand. You got to be quick. So I think if
Right.
anything, he's taught me that. And then again, the important lesson of quality.
Yeah, and there's not a board you got to report to, right? Because it's just
Oh,
your family's business. It just happens to be a very, very large family business, but you can make a decision on the fly, and if it's not perfect, you can just kind of fine tune it over time. But
yes.
that's the same thing with us, between my brother and myself, and how much we learned from our dad. We can just make decisions and move. We don't have to. We're not bogged down by like a box store where you got a board and we got to do quarterly reports and how much money did you make, and like, okay, we didn't have a great quarter. We bought too much stuff and we had to sell it cheap, and our margins were garbage. But let's just fix it and move on. Like sometimes you got to swallow it, right? You got to
Yep.
eat the sandwich, as they say.
Yes.
That's great. So the next question is, this is moving on to legacy innovation type of stuff. Bettinardi is rooted in tradition, but you're leading in a very modern golf landscape. How do you decide when to preserve legacy versus push the boundaries?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good question.
It's a great question. And when it comes to, let's start with putters for a second. I think the core belief when I work with our engineers and when we're designing new models, it always comes back to my father's philosophy of if a putter looks good, you're going to have more confidence and make more putts. So, for example, when you look at our Antidote line that we just released, which is our
Mm-hmm.
zero torque line of putters, we made sure that those putters looked beautiful, right?
Correct.
Other
Yeah, you
putters
nailed it.
that have crazy neck configurations or screws or interesting shapes, right? That don't maybe you're a little off-putting to the mass.
Right. Looks like
When
a
you look at
branding
our
iron. Yeah.
SB1, our SB2, and now our SB3 and 5, which just were
Yeah.
released in December,
Yep.
those are beautiful classic Bettinardi heads with, again,
Right.
the shaft goes in line with the center of gravity. So we didn't have to do anything that was off-putting to the mass consumer. And again, holding our core belief of we have to make beautiful product. That's what Bettinardi stands for. It's timeless, it's elegant, it's well crafted. So when it comes to designing putters, that's our core philosophy does it look like a Bettinardi?
Right.
When it comes to head covers and our accessories, I feel like the Hive is more of our fun part of the brand where I can take risks and gambles and express our my creativity and our design team's creativity to be more fun. So whether it's
Right.
a cat and a wizard having a beer,
Yeah. Right.
or
Right.
a bomb with sunglasses on it,
Yes.
a unique colorway, rainbow stitch, that's the fun part, right? So that's where I am willing to take a lot more risks. And golf is an amazing game that has a wide diversity of players, right? So
Yep.
it doesn't have to be your old school, country club vibe of everything's got to be navy and black and white and simple design.
Right.
Let's have fun and let's stand out in the crowd. It's a crowded space. It's a hyper competitive space. So let's
Exactly right. And it's
that.
evolved. I mean, you would say this. It's evolved so much, so rapidly in the last 5 years alone.
Yes.
6 years
Yeah,
since
we've been
COVID.
doing the Hive for 10 years and feel like really started that trend of the limited releases and the drops and being unique in terms of, hey, here's some, 6 one-of-one putters and a cool cover, and doing that prior for a few years, but really formalizing with the Hive in 2016
Mhm.
has set us up the last 10 years to where we are today.
That tiki putter you guys did, I think might be the best looking putter I've ever seen from any company ever, with kind of that wood grain to it.
Talk about perfecting. I mean, we could have done a nice oil rub bronze PVD or an
Right.
in-house Tour Blast finish, Diamond Blast, but that was something where we got to do something better than years past, and we got to make it look stand out. Let's go to work and find somebody that can make this wood grain appearance, and we did it, and it was not cheap.
Oh,
to
good luck,
do.
Chief. Yeah, the
It hurt our
face.
margin a little bit, but I think it left a lasting impression on our customers. Like, holy smokes, look at what nobody's doing this, right?
Right,
Come up
right.
with some of these finishes and colors that I think a lot of golf companies are scratching their heads.
Right. That the face alone, the intricacy of the face was like nothing I've ever seen before. And I looked at it, I was like, this is crazy. Like this is really, really fine detail. And for to turn out whatever, you guys don't make a super ton of them, but to make
Yeah,
it,
350 pieces made worldwide, but a
yeah.
45-minute cycle time on the face is not ideal for
No,
manufacturing,
no.
but it looks amazing and told a great story. And
Right.
I'm proud of what we created.
This zero torque thing, which we'll get into that more here in a minute, but the zero torque thing kind of took the world by storm. And you guys were like, hey, we got the cure for that. So Antidote's a great name to recycle.
Yeah.
And the like you said, the looks and the styling is what the people today want. Right? Nobody wants to be their dad. Nobody wants old and stodgy and like you said, like everything that once was and used to be. People respect the past, but we're living in the present. And these kids want fun. And there's plenty of kids, and by kids I mean like 50 and under, that really want different, fun, exciting, loud, something that that's noticeable, like the
Yeah.
queen bee finishes and all that. So
Yeah, the
um
consumers to me gotten very smart in terms of what they want, and in the last few years, we've been really challenged where the consumer is almost demanding tech,
mhm.
and it can't just be a BB1 like our heel toe weighted blade we make every year.
Right.
Has to be a story behind it. So I feel like we did a really great job with our new BB1 with a brand new face milling. I can touch on that later, but a new face, great new finish.
Yeah.
Back into the antidote, people want tech, so they don't want to hear the same thing or get the same product. And I think putters were like that for a while. We were innovating with the Innovate line, which stands for innovation, with high MOI shapes, our roll control face milling, which got the ball rolling end over end quicker. But now, again, I think a lot of the core belief of product that we're engineering and designing has to have a technology component to it to keep moving. So it's
Yeah.
imperative to me and our engineers to make that happen.
It's like we talked about on other podcasts. It has to tell a story, right? Because marketing has to be involved, but it's way better when the story is true. And
Yes.
you guys have done a really good job of marrying those two together, where you've got a story and the story's true. And then when you look at the putter, it's kind of got that wow effect. So that's kind of the third wheel to that tricycle that has to roll. Here's a question for you, just finishing up on that legacy and leadership thing. How has your leadership style evolved since becoming president? Like, yeah, what have you learned, or what's the biggest lessons you've learned?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely evolved, being in that position at a young age called 30-31 to where today I'm 36. I think my leadership style this year is, do your job, get it done. I have so many things that I want to do in this business, and I think our managers know I need to be more external facing. I want to be on the road. I want to be seeing customers. I want to be preaching the Bettinardi gospel and telling the great story of our business and what we do. So that requires me to have great leaders and great managers here internally that I can trust to do what they need to do on a day-to-day basis, weekly
Yep.
basis, quarterly basis.
Yep.
So I have a lot of faith. We have an amazing team, very talented team of people. Some people have been here 30 plus years. Some of people have been in their roles 9 years, 5 years, and promoted from within. And I love that about our team. And we have a great group. So
Yeah.
I think my management style, again, kind of back to that question, is just get your job done. Everybody has the core belief. We have to have quality number one. We got to get back to people, and we want to be the best. So I
Yeah.
learned from somebody, very, very successful businessman. I asked last December, we were playing golf, and I said, when you made your first, call it 100 million, why didn't you just stop there? Why did you want to keep going? And he said something to me, I'll never forget. He said, I wanted to be the best, right? Why would you not want to be the best? Why would you want to be
Right.
average?
Right.
Why would you want to be mediocre when you
Right.
can work hard and be the best? So we made this sign that's hung up in our shop. It says, be the best you can be, right? With our Hex
Right.
logo around that. So that's something I think I hope our team can feel confident in and instill to them, that be the best. Why sell
Yeah.
yourself short?
And I think that when my goal every single day when I walk through the doors here at Maple Hill is to be the type of leader people want to follow. I think that that's very, very important, because it's much easier to lead from the front than the back. So when you're whipping people from behind, they don't like it as much. When you're telling them, hey, follow me, I'm going to lead you to the promised land, they like that a lot better. And I
Yeah.
think that you and your dad do a fantastic job of that. And your dad touched on a little bit of his religious beliefs and all that. And I love that. And I just think that just kind of illuminates all the way through your business, right? Like when you do it right, you want to be the best, kind of everybody's like, oh, now I want to be like that. And I'm subscribing to that guy's mentality. I want to be like Sam, and I want to be like Bob. And I can't say enough positive about that. It's just so wonderful. And I think you guys do a really good job, and your staff looks up to you guys very, very much, and they should. So that's beautiful.
Appreciate it.
Moving on to products and innovation. How hands-on are you personally with product development and testing? And let me just say something real quick before you even answer that. So I've got to golf with you a couple times now. I think 3, maybe, whatever. And last time we played, you're like, hey, check this one out, but be quiet because it doesn't come out for a few more months. So I know for a fact you're very, very dedicated to the product, and like you also want something that you're gonna like, but also that is gonna have mass appeal and is gonna sell. So you can take it from there.
Yeah, hyper involved. I meet with our engineers probably at least 2 hours a week. We have standing meetings where they're showing me what they're working on with my direction, and they're 3D printing, and I'm tweaking the 3D prints, and they're showing me the finished product. And we're tweaking the finished product. Great example that's going on right now. We're working on our new irons for 2027. And I got the heads in, found love. I have a simulator in my basement, so I've been hitting them the last few days. I'm now going to go to our studio to get some true data versus just feel, and then make the necessary tweaks. So the way it's structured today is I'm working with them constantly. And then my father is the final sign off based on his 35 years experience being in golf and designing putters, right? And we butt heads a little bit, right? Because he's a 9 handicap and I'm a plus handicap.
Yeah, you're really good. Yep, that I can.
But he wants a certain look in our irons and wedges versus what I want. He wants it to appeal to his demographic versus what I think Bettinardi stands for is, again, those classic looks, pure. So yeah, we butt heads a little bit on that, but I think at the end of the day, find a nice happy medium that speaks to what we want to produce.
Agreed. And I actually think that if you guys saw eye to eye on everything, it wouldn't be as good. That's my opinion.
Oh, we really would. Each other. Yeah.
Yeah. You need a little yin and a little yang in order to make it great, right? Like if everything was just salt and there was no pepper, it's not as good. You need a little bit of this. And that goes to my next question, which Caitlin, you did a great job in these questions, by the way, but here's a good question. This is solid. Do you rely more on tour feedback, everyday golfers, as I call them, regular hacks like me, or your own gut instinct? Like you got those all factor. So if you could maybe put percentages on them.
Yeah, all three. I would say it starts with tour, and then I would say the customer feed. I'd say that's a really good question. Probably 40% tour.
Yeah.
Probably 25, 30% customer feedback, and the rest my gut. Again, I've been doing this for 13 years. I have a pretty solid gut of what people want.
Right.
But I validate that with a guy like you or other industry people that are really smart. So you would be in that circle. And then again, it goes back to tour. If we're testing a face or if we're testing a model with tour players and they have that feedback, but you got to remember their handicaps are +6 to +9, right? What they want is not always best for the consumer in terms of looks and shaping. So again, trying to tweak those to make it more appeal to the masses, right? Like our road control face was inspired off of Matt Fitz. Tour is a huge part to what we do. We're blessed to have Matt Fitzpatrick, major winner, Francesco Molinari, major winner, Brent Couples, major winner, Kuchar, 9 times, Nick Faldo, 6-time major winner. Great stable of some of the best golfers of all time.
Right.
Giving us feedback to design the best product in the world. So
if they made it illegal to pay people to use putters, you'd have a lot more people using your putters. But some of these companies
tell you a lot of stories on that, Bob. I'm not going to, but yes, we would. You're right.
See, now you sound like your dad. He was I can't say any names, but man, we had this guy hook, line, and sinker. Then this company comes in and pays him, and that's the end of that. Like, there goes that. Like, we worked hard, we got it right. The guy loved it. He wanted to use it. And then here comes the almighty dollar. And then whatever.
Somebody comes in 3 times higher. We're us that we can't afford it because, again, we're medium-sized, family-owned business, and it's got to make financial sense. We're working on somebody really, really special. Hopefully something lands soon. But again, you never know. Putters are the hardest club in my mind to get somebody to switch out of because putters are personal. People have used putters since they've been 15, since they've been 18, for 10 years. So how do you get somebody to switch out of the most important club in the bag to something brand new? You got to have a great story, and you got to show them the data is better in order to make it happen. So what we're tirelessly working on. I got a great tour department of 4 employees. Somebody's on the PGA Tour every week. Someone's handling the amateur ambassadors, other global tours. So yeah, it's tough, but we're fighting that battle.
BB series, combining those two lines with the Innovate. What was the story behind that? Less stories to tell, I assume.
Not even less stories to tell. I just feel like over the years we've gotten a little deep with product, and that was really transpired by the Antidote, right? We now think of our lines as the BB, and the consumer, I want to know this, is that the BB is our core classics, right? The studio stocks were core, but they also were a little bit more niche tour inspired head shapes.
Yep.
The BB's been around since 1999, so now you have your core, and you also have two Innovate style heads with the BB 6.0 and the BB 7.0 in the BB. So I think of the BB as the best of the studios, the best of the Innovates into the core classics. That's that line. The Queen Bee, I want people to think of as your aesthetic charm. It's the heavier head weights, the special finishes, unique contours, shaping on the models. And then lastly, you have your Antidote, which is your technology line, your zero torque line that had been great since we've launched it, 15 months ago. And yeah, it's nice to have those three stables to be able to come to market with.
Yeah, and the Queen Bee, just to touch on that a minute, while we're talking putters, we're kind of knee deep in putters right now and models by your mother.
Yeah, my mom, Annie B. Ann in 2009 told my father that there's no attractive ladies putters in the market. Why are all ladies putters 33 inches with a pink grip slapped on them, right? So he talked to his team at the time, his engineer and his other product guy, and they said, horrible idea. And she said, no, you're going to do this. We need to do this. So Bob, had to listen to his wife. They did it. And it just exploded. It really took off. I think the first 6 months was interesting. Is this a men's putter? Is this a women's putter? What is it? And I think after that, so many men flocked to it because of those shapes, those finishes. It's funny, in Korea, our demographics probably 60% female buy it, 40% men, where in America, it's probably 95% men, because that's more the demographic of golfers in America, where Korea, there's 50 million people and there's 5.5 million golfers. Right, and half it's more split. Right, there's so many great female golfers from Korea.
Right.
But yeah, kudos to my mom. So shout out, mom, for developing that line and making it beautiful and very elegant, and being a big part of our production product.
And she's still involved in like the sole design or something, or
I'm waiting for her right now to pick a finish. That's kind of a line where I have my opinions what it should look like, and then she gets the final say. She is the Queen Bee, and don't mess with Ann on the Queen Bee series.
I love that.
We all kind of get out
dad
of the
was
way.
sitting here, I was sitting here, and your mom was sitting here kind of listening. Your dad would say something, your mom would go, Bob, and she had to kind of correct a couple of things and set the story straight.
I'll design the heads, and I'll give her the inspiration on the arc. She'll bless it. But the colors and the grips and the overall look, that's my mom. So again, shout out Ann.
Yeah, and Queen Bee is now your number one selling line?
It was, and it has been for a while, but Bob, due to the success of the Zero
Antidote,
and just the mass appeal of, again, consumers wanting tech, it really has taken over for us. And but yeah, Queen Bee's always been that really niche, again, aesthetic charm, beautiful staple of what we do.
So yeah, between Queen Bee, Antidote, Studio Stock, and BB series, that's enough of a story.
Yes. Now you got BB core, great selling line. You got Queen Bee, your beauty, your craftsmanship, and then you go Antidote, all your zero torque.
Yeah, which is beautiful. Let's talk about zero torque for a minute. Zero torque putters are definitely still the talk. What made Bettinardi decide to jump right in, and how long did it take you guys? Because you guys wanted a better widget, which we've talked about, and you do have one. Yours isn't Langle balanced. Yours works no matter how you hold the thing.
Bob, it really started with tour. Back to that question of how did it come about? Matt Kuchar in the winter of 2023 said, I really want a putter that's toe up, right? So talking to our engineers, I'm holding the SB2 right here. You can see how it's toe up, right? And toe up technology. There's no balance point. So whether I want it to be right face balance, whether I want it to be toe down, whether I want it to be toe up, it spins freely. So when he talked to us in December, I'm like, shoot, we got to engineer a new head for Cooch. It's a one-off. And I remember seeing him at Riviera in 2024, and he goes, no, I really want this. So we got to work right away. He got the putter in May in terms of all that engineering, custom machinery, fixtures. He got it. And I don't get a lot of texts from Matt. So I'll say that on Sunday night, Matt texted me and he said, you guys nailed it. I led the field in strokes gained putting. Great job. And that's when the light bulb went off of, okay, we did it. It works for him. Let's start thinking about how this could look of bringing it to consumer. So 2024 in December, we launched the SB1 and 2 to much success. It's sold great. Sir Nick Fallow's been a great ambassador for us on that SB2 because same thing for him. He's 67 now, 68. He wants more stability in his putting versus his heel shafted blades, heel shafted mallets. He goes, this is the best thing I've ever putt with. And he's now our spokesman for the Antidote line.
Love it. Love it. So the next question, I think you just answered. That was there a real moment during development where you knew, okay, this thing really works? I think Kuchar.
I think Kuchar attacked on that Sunday night, and I think leading up to even delivering them the product, studying the science and studying the performance on Quintech and V1 at our studio, and looking at the data of how the head almost self-corrected and just stayed so square through the stroke. And whether you're a +5 or whether you're a 20 handicap, just the performance benefits from seeing roll the Antidote was so strong. It was like we have to do it. And again, it's just releasing Matt's model. We knew we needed a big brother, which is the SB2, and here we are now with 4 models in the line, 4 really, really great heads, beautiful heads that we're so proud of. And I think just to plug it, the putters, like you said, are not lie angle balanced, right? If you go get a lesson from your Antidote or from another brand, right, and your coach tells you to go 3 degrees upright, that putter is useless. You got to send it back in, get new screws, wait 8 to 12 weeks, get it back. For us, our putter's balanced no matter how you hold it. So whether you're upright, whether you're flat, whether you sit square, it's going to remain zero torque and have that great stability of what we engineered, where the shaft goes directly in line with the putter's center of gravity.
Exactly, and that's what differentiates you from at least them. There's other companies that are kind of trying to accomplish the same thing you guys have accomplished, but your price point's beautiful. The putters look beautiful. You've got Bettinardi technology behind it. Like it's really hard to argue with, and we've had tremendous success with it. And like you said, it continues to be hot. In my store, if Queen Bee or Antidote outsells one another, it's got to be close. They're really close. And then this new one, I think this finish is great. I love the pewter shaft. And then this is just sweet too. I don't know who designed your stock cover, but it's freaking awesome. When I saw that, I was like, man, they absolutely nailed that. That looks really
trying to evolve every year from just, hey, a pure leather cover with simple embroidery to how do we pull some aspects of the hive and bring it in. So you see some great carbon fiber, you see some unbelievable embroidery on there with the different textures, again, in the bottom, the base of it, with the hex bee, the honeycomb. That's Bettinardi. It's what we're trying to push every year.
And you're still making these in-house for the most part, at least assembling them?
Hive head covers are all made in-house, and then our production product is made overseas. For that cover.
Because I was going to say, you got this little old lady sitting there, and pardon me if she's not that old, but when I was there, she was kind of a little old lady sitting there, hand stitching this stuff and cutting this stuff, like the attention to detail. And she has this measuring board, and everything has to be just perfect. And they have that whole room dedicated to head covers. Wow.
Even I'm really, I'll shout out to that embroidery team, starting it in 2019. I moved out of my office and bought an embroidery machine and put it in my office because we had no space. And I tasked our paint room manager, Griselda, who's very talented, and said, figure out how to make a head cover with our head of engineering. They did it in about a month and a half, where a lot of back and forth. The shape wasn't right. The Velcro wasn't there. The foam on the inside, we finally dialed it in. Now we have 10 employees working around the clock to do that. And there's over 80 years of embroidery and leather working experience in our department. So it's amazing how it's evolved with all the machines. And again, really, really proud of really that was something I'm really proud of, starting really from scratch. Going from one machine to the machinery we have now was awesome.
And that's a pretty big part of your business now, right? Like selling head covers.
It is a big part. Yeah, I mean, we did our release yesterday for Party On. We try to do 2 high releases a month. We have amazing product in our store in Studio B Oakbrook.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's, again, back to what I said, the fun factor of the brand.
Yeah, I love that. Moving on to fitting, and then we'll get into some fun questions. I want to get to those too. That'll be great. How important do you think putter fitting really is for the average golfer? We have a Quintec here. We do putter fitting. As long as the stroke's relatively consistent, it makes a huge difference in our testing.
Huge. I would say it's imperative. I would say if you're not getting fit for a putter, you're losing shots. We all know putters, tour players are, let's say, 22 to 30 putts around. The average golfer, maybe 32 to 40 putts around. So the easiest way to save shots, we know, is 100 yards and in. And then again, most importantly, is on the putting green. So if you're using, I would liken it to a suit, right? Do you want to show up to a wedding with a boxy suit where the sleeve's too long and you look kind of haggard, versus why not get fit for the equipment that best suits your stroke? And I think what we do a great job at Studio B is we're not changing your stroke, because golfers tend to go back to their natural tendencies. So whatever you come in with, we're going to fit you to the product that matches that stroke. So now, again, maybe you're working with a coach and over time your stroke's going to evolve. Then I would say come back in and get fit for your new putting stroke. But whatever you bring to the dance that day, we're going to dial in and make sure you're a happy camper leaving. And I think a lot of people ask me, what's the best part of your job? I always say making golfers better golfers.
Enjoy it more.
Exactly. Anywhere I go, it's like, oh, I got your putter. I love it. I got your putter. It helped me win my club championship. I got your putter. I won the U.S. Open, right? Whatever level that may be, that's what brings a lot of joy to me, knowing we're helping golfers perform better at the craft.
Yeah, it was like a year ago, one of our employees had a birthday party. You might remember this. I texted you and your dad, and I said, I took a picture with this kid, and he just won some college event. He's a really stud player, like Division II or Division III, but who cares? He's a stud college player, and he was telling me all about his Bettinardi putter, and I said, I just was talking to those guys yesterday. He's like, you know the Bettinardis? I said, yeah, I know Bob and Sam, and I sent you guys that picture the one time while we were at that party, and that made that kid's life. Like, he was so happy. I was like, well, now they know who you are. And I put your picture in front of them, and so anyhow, that you guys just, yeah, I really, really appreciate that and what you guys do for helping people out. Like you said, getting better at golf, which is the challenge. With so many options out there, how should golfers even start narrowing putters down?
That's it starts with looks, right? So let's say a guy like me who's got access to 40 different putter heads. Right. I know that I putt best with mallets, and I like the look of blades, but I know I can't putt with them, right? So I go back to mallets that perform best. And let's say I have 4 to 6 mallets that are in our repertoire that I would use. I'll then go on Quintec and get fit with our team and say, now show me the data that best suits. So same thing for the listener of this podcast. If you're trying to figure out what putter to use, start with looks. Yeah. What looks good with your eyes, because that look is going to go into confidence. Hey, this looks good to me. I know now I've been fit for it. I got no excuse. This is what is best for my game. So it's got to start with the look category and what looks good to you.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Once I look at the line and I'm like, oh, that one's the one I like. Like, it's then now let's get fit for length and line, all the things. This is an interesting question. What's the biggest mistake you see golfers make when choosing a putter?
I think they choose their putter off of looks without getting fit, right? Like, I love our 3-step jam. It's one of the first tour putters that I had my hand in designing, where Colin Morikawa won the Pac-10 with it and won his first PGA Tour event with it. I love that head. I would love to use that head, but I'm not a good enough putter to use that head. So I think a lot of golfers that even collect our brand will go to the classics like a BB2, right? Your 8802 style, or your BB0, because it looks amazing. Now, again, it's got to look good, but then it's got to be fit properly to properly be used for your stroke. So I think a lot of golfers will just buy, oh my gosh, I love the look, but it's not what they should be using. You know what I mean?
Right. It's more of a love affair than a marriage.
A love affair. Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Oh, I used to have one of these. Oh my goodness. So
my dad used one. I got to use this one, or it's his putter. versus, hey, I'm glad it looks good, but what does what does our fitter say? What does the technology say you should be using? So I'd say that's the biggest misconception for players. Again, back to your question, you got to get fit.
Yeah, it can't be more than it can't just be I love the look of this. It's also got to be, well, does this actually work for you too? Like,
Yes.
so it helps like in what you, and let's clear up the air here a little bit about Mr. Sam Bettinardi. Are you the 2-time champ at Butler?
4-time.
Okay. All right. I think when I saw the wall, I think it was 2 names on there, but this young man has won the Butler National Club Championship 4 times. If you don't know what Butler National is, it's the all male one, right?
That's the one we went
Yes.
to. Yeah, all male
Yeah,
club in
we chose the
Chicago.
Western Open from 74 to 1990.
It's hard
rated
as
the
hell.
hardest-
It
It was
is
rated the
freaking
hardest scoring
impossible.
average during that time, harder than all the majors. There's a lot of talented players out there. So getting that first one was the nice monkey off the back. And I love that place. It's been very good to me. And was trying to repeat the three-peat last year. Didn't do it. So I got to start the stretch over.
So the first time we play, we walk in, and I'm like, and take your hat off, and no cell phones. Like, it's a fancy place, and I'm like, all right, this is sweet. I like this. And then the menu, there's no menu, and you just order whatever food you want. And the guy's like phenomenal. Like, the guy's service was just out of this world. He knows everyone walking by, and everybody knows everybody. And there's no door to the men's locker room. It's just open. And this place is unique. And so I'm like, all right, sweet. Let's go play some golf. Well, about the 3rd hole, I'm like, well, this is pretty hard. And like the 7th hole, I'm like, oh my God, like, how did you win this thing? And they have good players too. It's not like it's just Sam and a bunch of chops. Like, it's competitive, obviously.
Yeah, there's
so
a lot
this
of
guy-
former
this-
D1 players. Guys played at Michigan, who's won 5 times, Miami, Ohio, Northwestern, Mid-Am qualifiers, 4-ball qualifiers. So it's competitive, but love all the guys over there. It's been very good to me.
And Sam saying he needs a mallet putter. So listen up and take a little bit of humble pie, folks. Anybody listen to this, because it very much can help you if you just use what you should. And once you go out and fit, and if we got it down between 2 models, let's prove which one is better and which one is getting the ball to the hole or more closer to the hole, more consistent. So
Funny story for you, and it's beating up myself a little bit, but like 3 years ago, I had a 3-foot putt to win the club championship to get to the finals. And I didn't use an arm lock that tournament because it was in timeout. And I had a counterbalance putter, just like this. And on the 3-foot putt, I put the putter on my forearm, which, of course, at 3 degrees of loft, you're de-lofting it to 0. I shoved it wide right. A week later is our grand opening at Studio B, and I was with Matt Fitzpatrick. And I said to Matt, I just missed a 3-footer to pretty much I would have won. And he's like, stick to the process, man. What are you doing? Why are you changing your stroke during the round? I'm like, I don't know. I got demons. I got, whatever up in my head. So back to all your questions on putting. When you get fit for something, stay with that putter. Don't change mid-round. Don't tweak. Go with what the experts are telling you. So again, little funny story. Even a guy like me that makes putters, I'm still tinkering all the time.
yeah, exactly. And you win quite a bit. So that's great. So moving on to some fun questions. What is your favorite putter that you guys ever made? I guess let's go head shape, because if you listeners got to actually go to Studio P and actually go into the hive and see all the cool stuff, there are putters in there that would literally blow your mind with the corkscrew hosel and some finishes that are crazy. And I have to bring up, it would be injustice if I didn't bring up the one you made for DJ Khaled.
I need another one. Like, I'm sure a lot of people have seen that video.
Yeah.
That putter you made for him was incredible. But what is your personal favorite, I guess, head shape?
Favorite head shape is that 3-step jam. That was back in 2016 when we were looking at, all the different shapes, and I reshaped that head to be a little softer on the bumpers, tweaked the top line, and just, again, that was a model. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. We need to bring it back. And I tweaked it, and it won within 8 months on the PGA Tour. And it's something that I wish I could putt with. I can't, but I just think that head is just so classic. The FCB, what Fred Couples used forever. Now he's it out. I love those 2 classic style heads.
Okay, love it. Well, I do think, as a side note, that the name 3-Step Jam isn't a bad name to put on like a BB or something.
Right.
Just that the actual name is pretty cool.
Great name, the 3-step.
This is a weird one, but let's go with it. I want to hear. You're a young man. I want to hear your answer. If golf had a walk-up song, what would your walk-up song be? Like walking up to the first tee, what would get you jacked?
That's a tough question.
What would get me jacked would be first one that came to mind is back when I was in middle school, "Stay Fly" by Big Timers. That's my walk-up song.
I'm still fly. Yeah. We play that at golf shows
Gator
all the
boots.
time.
Yeah.
Gotta go to take a guess. I know the song. That's great. Yeah,
That's
that
my
would,
song.
because it's got that beat that kind of like just gets in your head. Like, I'm gonna dominate this.
Yep.
I love that.
What's your favorite / best golfing story?
Best golfing story. I'll say one of the best ones. I was supposed to go on a trip to Columbus, Ohio with a good buddy, and I got a call the day before saying Justin Thomas wants to play Butler. And I'm like, okay, cancel the golf trip. Let's play with JT. And I think on the front 9, I had 5 birdies with my arm lock at Butler, which again is not easy to do.
No.
And he grabs my putter on the 8th hole and he's like, "What is this? Let me see this. Why how are you making so many putts?" I ended up tying him for the round, and he ended up exchanging a little bit of money. So shout out to BP. If you ever see this, that was a lot of fun. You made my day, made my life working here. So that was a lot of fun to be able to do that. And just
Wow.
around him, it was right after he won the PGA. Just really, really cool.
That's great. And he seems like a really cool guy.
He's awesome. He was a gentleman. Just him and unbelievable day. Great guy.
Fun guy.
And I'll tell you, when I played Butler National, I shot about a 99. And I'll tell you how I did it. I made everything. I would have been a lot worse than that. Like, it's just hard, man. It's hard. I don't know another way to word it. It's hard. It's beautiful. It's great. I'm glad I got to play it. It's just not easy. Ian did pretty well when we played, but what's one club in your bag you could never take out? I guess that's a tough question for a golf club designer because
my putter. I use that putter with some timeouts. I have a really like a Studio Stock 3 arm lock. I started using it in 2013. I put it out at play a handful of times, but I always go back to that model when my putting woes change. So, and as a kid, I changed putters every 6 weeks, right? It was never my doing. It was always the putter's fault. So I think the fitters at the time here at Studio when I was in high school and college probably hated me. But yeah, I would say that putter's been really, really good. Made a U.S. Mid-Am. You won those club championships. It always goes back to that arm lock.
I love it. I love it. Who would be in your dream foursome?
Dream foursome, I would say, really good question. I would love to play. I'd probably put my dad in there because he's a good time on the golf course. I would probably put Fred Couples. I'd love to play with him. Got to spend a little time with him with our iron launch. And then I would say probably Michael Jordan. Would love to play with him. He uses a Bettinardi putter and would love to see him on the golf course. And being a kid from Chicago in the 90s would just be a dream to be able to be around him.
Yeah, I agree. And I have a buddy that played with Jordan quite a few times, and he said he's super fun on the course. And there was another guy, I'm not going to mention any names, another guy who used to be sponsored by Nike, that your dad showed me a putter you guys made for him.
Yes.
In his office. So that was pretty sweet too.
So you guys have definitely done plenty of stuff that that flies under the radar that nobody knows about. 3 quick questions here. Looking ahead, where do you want to take Bettinardi over the next 5 to 10 years?
5 to 10 years, I want to keep the growth scale that we're going, and I want to see more Bettinardis in play around the world. And that includes the PGA Tour. That includes amateurs bags. You know, we've grown 16x since I've started 13 years ago. So I want to keep that trajectory. I want to get great talent in here working for us. I want to innovate in product and just make the best. Back to my statement, be the best you can be. I want to be the best golf company in the world. Top down, more people to think of us beyond putters. And, you know, we've been wedges and irons. And I want to engineer the best and keep growing. You know, we're in 45 countries around the globe. And still so many people don't even know how to pronounce our last name. Over the next 5 to 10 years, I'd like to change that and continue to make it a household name. And when people think of Bettinardi, they think of the best.
Right. I think a lot of people have just shortened it to Betty because it's pretty cool and easy.
That's right.
So,
yeah, you guys definitely have a strong. Your online presence, of course, is gigantic, and you guys built that and earned it. You even got your own Facebook group. I know that I don't think it's you guys, but somebody built it, and it's
there's
fun.
a great. I'll shout out those guys: Spencer Schrader, Nick Petrakis, Dan Gordon, Chad Jones. Great moderators on that page. There's
Yeah.
over 10,000 people, and they're talking about Bettinardi 24/7. They're selling, they're trading, debating
Right.
a lot of things, and it's a great community. That's something else I'm really, really proud of. 10 years ago, we had a little bit of that where we had a core 25, 50 guys. Now that's hundreds of people. And again, 10,000 in that group. So the community's strong, amazing group of people that collect and are involved in it. We do 4 golf trips a year that sell out instantly. We do a big collectors event in September called The Social, high demand, and just, again, great group of people, amazing customers, love every one of them.
Yeah, I think that's one of my most favorite things about the golf kind of inner circle, I guess you'd call it, is how many good people there are. It's so
Great.
Nice.
And I'll
Just
go to
Joe.
these trips, and these people, these guys are all gentlemen. They're great people, and I love being with them and love talking to them about the brand. And nobody's got a big ego. Everybody gets along, and it's what makes the Bettinardi community so great. So
Yeah.
again, really appreciate all of our great customers.
yeah, yep, agreed wholeheartedly. Is there anything in the golf tech world right now that really gets you excited?
I love all this AI stuff. We've got some skunkworks projects right now with that in terms of, I guess can't say too much about it, but I think the AI evolution is going to start hitting in the way we do fittings and the way we do product development. We're already using it in product development. But I think more the fitting aspect. I know I saw something at the PGA show finally for a golf ball that had a chip inside of it, right? Where you can either find your lost ball, which I've dreamed up since I've been a kid, or you get the data you want off just the golf ball. So I think that's really exciting. And how we incorporate some of that AI and that technology into our product, stay tuned. But it's being worked on as we speak.
Awesome. And then the last question is, what do you want golfers to think of when they hear the word Bettinardi?
The best.
The best.
I
That's
think
what
people
I
want
feel
to
you were
think
going to say.
Bettinardi makes the best product in the world. And again, quality top down. If they buy Bettinardi, they know they're buying the best. We're not a $1 billion company, right? All the competitors we compete against have a B next to their name, and we don't. So we're family owned. Like you said, there's no board, there's no corporate approvals. We're just a family owned business just outside Chicago making the best in the world. So I want that to resonate with people around the globe and know that we're doing the best we can to make the best product in the world, and it transpires into the people's bags.
And I think the other thing that you're proud of, and you should be proud of, and I'm proud of, is that when somebody buys a Bettinardi putter or wedge or irons, is that not only are they getting the best, but they're getting a pretty damn good value. And if you treat it nice, keep the head cover on it, it holds its value very well. There's putters that are 10 years old that are still going for $250. You know what I mean? And if it's a rare one or one of the ones with the brass colored heads with the silver face or something, like some of that stuff is really expensive even on the used market. So it's a good investment.
Yeah, there's a good secondary market, for hive covers that, will sell for $150 and it'll sell for $500, or it'll sell for $200, it'll sell for $1,500 wood sets. But even on the production range, like you said, if you take care of it, and again, we stand by our product. So if there's any issues where it's a paint or it's a finish, we have a great 1 year, no questions asked warranty where we'll restore, we'll make it right. And again, we stand by it. So I think people can buy with confidence knowing not only are they getting the best, but we're all over that. And that's very important to me.
I know you guys had the one place that was finishing your putters and they screwed something up, and then we had a couple little customer issues, and then we're like, "Yep, you're getting a brand new one." They're like, "A brand new one?" I'm like, "Yeah, Bettinardi, dude, buy Bettinardi. These guys don't give us any hassle. That's a great customer service, and they just want their customer happy, and it means a lot to them." When you're talking about other companies that have a B next to their name, they don't care as much about individuals because they have so many people buying their stuff. That's how they're $1 billion company.
And
Well, I
Bettinardi,
saw
like
my golf spy did a Twitter poll, I think a week ago, saying which brand do you trust the most and which brand do you trust the least. So that word trust is so important when people buy, especially the consumer, the younger consumer nowadays. Do they trust you? Are you authentic, right? Do you do what you say, or are you a marketing company that farts out, excuse my language, farts out product every 6 to 12 months because you're publicly traded and your board needs you to, or your investors need you to, or are you making the best with a purpose? And I hope people see that and hear that today from what I'm saying. It's vital to the success of the business.
Completely agreed. Completely agreed. And I think you guys are doing a fantastic job, dude. I really do. And I'm just happy to be part of your success. I really appreciate all you've done for both me personally. You guys have treated me great, and I got a couple fitted putters from you guys, and I love them. They're super cool. And that Innovate that I'm currently playing right now, I absolutely love that too. You guys had to make it super heavy. Remember that? You're like, we don't have that. I'm like, well, you're making one now, and you guys did. And I'm actually one of the best putters in my league, so I love that. I'm a chop with a putter. That's what I've described myself as. But
So back to
Sam,
your question, when you got fit, how much better was your putting?
oh, it helps tremendously. So I used an Odyssey tank forever, right? So like you said, all the demons and all the things. Like if you've golfed a long time and you're semi-accomplished, you've accomplished a million times more than I have. But I was pretty good. I mean, I was all conference, and I could have played college golf. I tried to play at a school that I couldn't make it on, but I could have played somewhere. I was pretty good, but I was more business. I wanted to sell stuff. I always loved the art of the sale more than I loved the sport of the golf. But anyhow, I fell in love with that Odyssey for years and years, and I brought it to you guys, and I said, this is what I need it to weigh, because my hands are trembly, so make me this. And you guys are like, all right, we got it. You went in the other room and put a bunch of stuff together, and like, here it is. And I was like, wow, you guys actually did it. That was great.
Good.
so I can't thank you enough. And we're at the end now, my man. So I thank you very much for being on the podcast. It's been a pleasure, and it's always good to catch up with you.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate you. Thank you to everybody who listened, and let's have a great year.
Yeah, 2026, man. I'm excited, and the new BBs and the new Antidote launches, and it sounds like maybe you got a few tricks up your sleeve. Your dad kind of said the same thing too.
Oh yeah,
So,
always developing, no doubt.
so thank you very much, Sam, and thank you all for listening. And new episodes drop every other week, so be sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And at some point in time, we'll catch up again with somebody from the Bettinardi family or somebody from the Bettinardi team. So it was a pleasure, my man, and all the best to you.
Thank you, Bob. Take care.
Thank you.